Well, I'm gonna change a steering cable on this boat, and thought I might make a video to help someone that's trying to change one themselves. I broke mine last night on the lake, so we have to take this nut off right here at the steering link. That's the first thing to do, I guess, and over here on this side where this big nut goes on, you got to take it loose, and right here is where mine broke. The cable that steers it works inside this rubber housing. This rubber housing is lined with steel wire. I don't know if you can see them here or not, but that's what popped and broke on mine, and your steering don't work good when this slides on there, so it's gotta put a new cable on it. I don't know if you can see this steering thing here's got four bolts in it. There's two of them. I can see good. You got to take 4 bolts out, and then this bar that runs across here that your cable goes through, it bolts down. These 4 bolts holds it down on this worm gear, and that's what works your steering. So I don't have room in here to film taking it out, but you got 4 bolts is what you've got. That's as far as I can pull it out from under the dash right now. It's a hanging back here in the back. I gotta get it loose back there before I can get it on up through here. I got it threaded on back through there to the steering wheel. Take it out and then bring the other one back in the same way. Okay, I got this bar out that I was just telling you about. Here's the little 4 bolts goes in through from the top of it here. When you get these bolts out, this picks up off of that worm gear. The worm gear, if you can see these splines inside this, as you turn your steering wheel, it's a screw type little thing they call a worm gear, and it moves these notches either that way or back this way, and by doing that pulls a cable and in return turns your motor over what direction you want it to go. So if you didn't know how that worked, maybe that'll help you to understand it. But anyway, this bar, you take this out from under the dash, and your new cable comes with another one of these on it if you got the rack companion type steering. So this may help you. Hope so. The numbers on these was the same, but it's a good idea to always lay them down and check them, make sure they're the same length before you go to the trouble to route them through the boat. It's a lot of trouble getting in there and it not be the size you need. Okay, I've got the new one routed back through from here to here. I can't get it over there, so I have to take the motor off. So I put the big eye hook in the top of the motor here, and I take a come along with a chain and hook into this and lift the weight off the motor and take these 4 bolts loose. This one, and 2 on the opposite side. And when I get the bolts loose, I'll have to clean the transom of the boat really good to get this old silicone off. And before I bolt it back on, I'll have to put new silicone on to keep the water from getting in to the hull through these bolt holes. But it's not as bad a job as it sounds, but it would have been better if it would have went in without having to loosen my motor. But I've got I've got to hang the motor, take the weight off of it so I can unbolt it and then move the motor to the left, and that way into this will go through, and after it goes through here, then I can bring the motor back over and line these bolt holes up. If you can see this, I've got the engine hanging loose now from the, I got it loose from the bolt, so now I can step it out where I need it and clean the old silicone off where these bolts go. See, now with my motor loose, I can put it in there. So after I get it in there, get this cleaned up, I can bolt her back on. So it looks like a bad job, but it's not. Scrape the old off and put plenty fresh on where the bolts goes through. After I tighten it down, the engine, as it tightens up against the bolt, it'll squeeze the excess out from underneath it. Then I can wipe it off, clean it up good. But that's the main thing, is make sure you waterproof it, keep the water out of your transom of your boat. I'm gonna wipe this off. See, when you tighten it up, how it squeezes all that silicone out. Leave the little crumbs like, and you can just wipe them off when they're dry, and it'll clean right down slick. I won't wipe this off here. I'll leave it on. I'll take I got my cables here to my transducer and my structure skin outfit, so I just push this in against the motor and let that silicone seal it, and it'll hold it over there out of the way, and that way I won't have to drill any holes in my boat. Okay, one thing I want to be sure to say something about is tighten this nut up here really good, because if it backs off, it'll give you slack in your stirrup. On this one here, you've got two washers. Put one on before you put one washer on before you put your steering rod down through that cable. Then put a washer on and put your nut on, and tighten this nut up good and tight till it's firm. Then back it off about 1/4 of a turn. A day or two after you go to the lake, a trip or two, keep a check on it, make sure it don't back off on you. I've got it put back together, except for all these little ties. I got to go from one end to the other. Every wire under the dash, down through the side here, every wire in it was strapped to the steering cable. Oh, that's smooth. It's smoother than the other cable. So it's got mine back in shape. I'll have to grease it. Back here on the back is a good idea if you don't know. These are grease fitting right there where my finger's at. You don't have to put a lot of grease, but it'd be a good idea once a month. Take a little hand grease gun when you grease your wheel bearings and put a little shot of grease in there. About a 3-hour job is what it took me, and I had to take my engine off. It ain't as bad as as you think it is. I thought about it maybe more than I wanted to fool with, but it ain't been that bad. Hope you enjoyed this, and hope you've learned something from it. Thanks for watching.